Hello YouTube, welcome back to another game of Starcraft 2 Legacy of the Void. This is going to be game number 2 between Lilbow and Nerchio here, a Protoss versus Zerg. Let's see how this one plays out. Of course, we are going to be playing on Lerilak Crest here. Now, the scores will be displayed on screen soon, so of course if you're watching this on YouTube later after the stream, you're very welcome to of course check out the first game, otherwise spoilers are coming. Now on the top left hand side we've got Lilbow. Lilbow is on Team Millenium and he's from France. On the bottom left hand side here, there was a pause there just to note why there's so much writing. Nerchio spawning as the blue Zerg on the bottom right hand side here. He's on Team Euronics Gaming and he is from Poland. So let's see how this one plays out. We've got no super early expansions here, everything seems to be fine. No early massive aggression going down either. Looks like Nerchio going for his expansion first, which of course versus Protoss is quite standard. In fact, I would not be surprised to see a double expansion at some point from Nerchio here. Double expansion works so well because you get your economy rolling so quick and your opponent just has very little time to actually react to it. So let's see, looks like we've got Cybernetics Core coming out after just two gateways. One gas so far. Now this kind of indicates that he's not going to be going for any sort of huge gas usage, which means, you know, could potentially not have a robotics facility or even a Stargate anytime soon, which is actually fine. It's very common for Protoss these days to start off with 2 gases, particularly in Protoss versus Protoss. So let's see how this one plays out. Looks like the Nexus is here. Hatchery about to complete. Metabolic boost also on the way for Nerchio. And he's only got 1 drone on this gas, so quite strange really, I have to say. Second gas has been put down for Lilbow. Now 2 gases a little bit delayed. Could mean a robotics facility soon. I wouldn't expect to see a Stargate too early here. But then again, you never know, anything is possible. Playing too much by the textbook is never really good. You definitely want to vary your skill or your build just a little bit. Let's see what it's going to do here. Looks like the 2 adepts moving on into the base. Sonic transfer has been used. Gonna probably start to snipe off a few workers. Is he gonna get one? No, he's not. What is he gonna do with these? Starts to take out a few workers. I think he took just 1. And that 1 adept getting very low. It's gonna transfer again. And moving on out. Staying safe, which of course is not a bad choice, considering that 1 adept is about to lose his life. Now, joined by a few of his buddies here, he's got 4 in total. Let's see, these Zerglings, absolutely no chance for them to do anything against these guys. And looks like a Stargate has been put down. Now, that is just inside the natural here. So he did wait a while and still decide to go for that Stargate, which is interesting to be honest. Because it was a delayed gas, he is going to get spotted now as well, so the question is going to be, is he going to continue with this gas? And now that block did not quite work out well. The poor adept just getting absolutely massacred by all of those Zerglings. Let's see what he's going to do. He is bringing out an Oracle. I think that's a little bit questionable, because typically you'd see the Oracle inside your opponent's base at roughly 4.5 minutes. Now with 4.5 minutes on the clock, we're probably only going to see this adept coming, or this Oracle coming out of that point. So if Nerchio was to go for some sort of air defenses, he would have plenty of time to get those up. So not going to be surprised to see the Spore Crawlers coming down here any moment now. Could very well be the case. And there we go, I see 1 on the way, so that's inside the main base. No, none inside the natural and the 3rd base yet. But I wouldn't be surprised to see it soon. Now these adepts moving on in here. Just by the way, scores. Lilbow currently at 1 just before this game ends, because I don't know when exactly it's going to end, so I don't want to end up resulting in a 0-0 score at the end. As you can see, 7 drones have been taken out so far, doing quite well with this harassment so far. It looks like finally these adepts getting cleaned up just a little bit, but so many drones have been taken out already. And if you look at this Oracle, 5 kills. Just one more kill until he's paid off for himself, and at that point he can move on away, just scout, potentially put down some of those stasis wards. And other than that, all he really needs to do is survive. That Oracle, potentially living old and growing grey. Getting grey, I mean. Now this Oracle, this Overlord going to be spotting pretty much everything going on in this base. Overcharge going down just to scare off those Zerglings. Now, how much energy does Mothership Core have? She has 112, so gonna have plenty of energy to be able to overcharge. And just to note, this is pre-nerf, so the actual overcharge still costs 25 energy at this point. It looks like, just to note, we have a second Stargate on the way, so double Stargate coming out, kind of suggesting Phoenix play, which is actually what he started to build already. He does have a Phoenix up. In fact, he's got 2 Phoenixes up, about to have 2 Phoenixes up. Now, blocking off these rocks, now the purpose of that really is simply to block off any sort of Zerg run by, because of course if you got a Zergling run by coming into your natural in here, your army could potentially be quite far, and that would be disastrous. But if you block this off and potentially put down a pylon next to it, it's a very common thing to do, then you will be able to see in advance when these rocks are going down. At that point, your opponent is not going to have the element of surprise, and could potentially get warded off quite easily. Now it looks like we've got a layer coming down in the 3rd base. He's got himself all of the spore crawlers in position. Phoenixes have been spotted at this point, so there are spore crawlers everywhere. Taking out 1 roach. So just doing a bit of cleaning up. Now this is very, very valuable energy that he's used up here. Just to... oh, that is a bit of a miss micro, unfortunately. And picking off 3 roaches, I believe, so far. Going to try to take out a queen as well. I do believe there's going to be 1 transfuse here. And is he going to be able to get it down? So close. No, he does not get it down. Now, bringing over the Oracle. Oracle going to help out with killing these units as well. He is going to lose 1 Phoenix here, so that's kind of okay for Nerchio, I suppose. The only problem is Nerchio has lost so many of his queens, and those, I believe, were creep queens, so not the biggest of losses, but it does deny him a bit of vision and, of course, movement speed for his units. And let's see how much he's going to do here. I'll probably start to pick off a few units, taking out an Overlord as well while he's at it, and that is actually quite a good choice of attack. Just wants to destroy as many Overlords as possible. If you can get into a position where you're actually supply blocking your opponent, then boy, you are doing good as the Protoss. Now Overlords strategically in place to defend against these Phoenixes. Have the spore crawlers underneath. So let's see what he's going to do. Level 1 weapons are on the way for Zerg. And by weapons I mean the ranged melee weapons. Ranged ground weapons rather. Wouldn't that be cool if both weapons were upgraded? Phoenix is still being quite pesky here. Looks like we've got a Lurker down on the way. It's definitely something interesting. And let's see what our opponent's doing. Looks like we got the Oracle on this side here. He does have 100 energy, so possibly going to take out quite a few workers here. The only thing he needs to watch out for, of course, is queens and spore crawlers. What have we got here? Just a scout Zergling, just seeing what's going on exactly. And looks like the Phoenixes are back, starting to take out a few workers. And this harassment is going to be favoring Lilbow very, very strongly. It's very hard to deal with units that can destroy your middle line without actually dying and without wasting any resources, which the Phoenixes are quite good at. 7 Phoenixes here, and doing quite well. Let's have a look at the units lost tab. Looks like 27 drones to 3 probes. So doing pretty good there. Now, as you can see, 3 robotics facilities in place, 2 immortals at a time. And just a note, we've got a hive on the way. So hive has been started. There's infestor pit here, not making any infestors it seems. Or does he have some already? He does actually have 2 here. And he does have a bunch of lurkers. The question is going to be, what is he exactly going to do with that? Zerg is running by here. He does have cannons defending. Is there a mothership core on the way? No, there's not. So going to potentially do a bit of damage here. Start to take on the pylon. Probably not the best use of those Zerglings. Could probably focus down the actual Nexus with that. And looks like we got Lurkers in position to defend. It could be all up to this fight right here. We do have 130 supply on each army. And just a note, these have now been revealed. So if they do move in here, they will be able to focus down those lurkers. Let's see what's going to go down here. These Zerglings have denied the actual Nexus here, so just to note that. An engagement going down. Immortals are in place. I think this is such a good place for Nerchio right now. I mean, he's got a big concave here. And he has so many lurkers that I don't think this attack for Lilbow happening whatsoever. I think he needs to avoid these lurkers as much as he can, because if he goes onto them like this, he will very quickly lose this game. And look at the sheer amount of damage that these lurkers are doing right now. Beautiful damage. $80 supply to 100. Now we do have a spire about to complete for Nerchio. He doesn't have any mineral or any gas or in fact minerals stacked up though, so probably not going to be using it for anything just now. Looks like he's built himself a bunch of lurkers instead, so no mutalisks just yet, unless of course he decides to go for broodlords, which could very well be the case. If he decides to go for a greater spire, then we definitely expect some broodlords to come out shortly after. So let's keep an eye on that. Now Greater Spire is on the way, so we do have the potential for Broodlords. Looks like Corruptors coming out as well, so just a more reason to believe this is in fact Broodlord play. Which is quite rare, but you definitely do see it every now and then. And honestly, I don't know what Lilbow is going to do once those Broodlords come out, because realistically, he's had enough trouble with Lurkers, but if Nerchio goes for another tech tier up, at that point, it is going to be so difficult to break through that. Zerglings running in here. Are they going to be able to deny this? There is cannons coming up here. I think he might just be able to hold this off. And oh, so close. This Nexus does survive. Does have about 200 health remaining. At the same time, Zealots trying to deny the base here. There's an Overseer just spotting out what exactly is happening. Zealots getting lifted off, brought away to safety. Corruptors Iron Plate is going to probably take this out very shortly. Not a whole lot that this Warp Prism can do. And that's it. Zealots Iron Plates though, gonna start nuking a few of these drones. How many is he gonna kill? If they kill one more, oof, if he killed off that one low health drone, he would have paid for himself at that point. And that would have been quite nice. Now Lurker's going down. This is nice position, but they need to fire towards the Immortals, not towards the Zealots. And the one thing that is problematic for Nerchio right now is to attack with Lurkers, they need to stay in position and the enemy units need to get to them. Now that's, ooh, 2 Archons sniped off there. That was quite an expensive loss. He's currently at about 40 supply deficit. There is a fleet beacon on the way, which could either mean increased range for Phoenixes, or it could mean carriers. Let's see which one it is. Level 2 weapons just complete for Protoss as well. Ooh, Tempest. Okay, so that's the third option, I suppose. Tempest on the way, 3 at a time. Looks like Nerchio not getting too aggressive yet. He does have his huge Lurker army. I mean, wow, look at these. That is 21 Lurkers. That is a whole lot of Lurkers. And let's see, burrowing down. And so far so good. It's going to be quite a tough situation for him here. Is he going to be able to burrow down and destroy all these Immortals? Immortals, of course, quite good against Lurkers, but at the same time, with so many Lurkers, is he going to have enough? Now, if he's going to burrow here, this Nexus is pretty much forfeit. It will be so difficult for Lilbow to actually move up here that I think he might as well just give it up. Maybe even just go for a base trade. Because realistically, at the moment, I don't think he's got a chance to win this game if he engages that whatsoever. Now, this has now been destroyed. Looks like the Stargate's also getting nuked off. And 19 probes as well. I think this is quite a nasty situation for Lilbow right now. I think Nerchio might just take this game. If he can in any way slow down this push right here, then he's definitely got this. Because at that point, Lurkers, man, you can't really do a whole lot against a bunch of Lurkers. And, ooh, interesting enough, there we go. The Broodlords are here. We've got 3 in place, 4th one on the way. Question is going to, of course, be, will he not lose them to these Stalkers? Because that would be quite a disaster. But looks like he's got himself his units back. Lurkers have backed on up. This poor Archon not going to get away here. Oh, he is getting away. Look at that. 17, or rather 32 in total with shields and health. Nexus again getting dropped on with these Zealots. Not going to get him down this time, unfortunately for them. And all these Zerglings were like huddling in a corner somewhere off in the distance. And Mothership Core is here. Interesting. So Lilbow managing to get himself a Mothership Core in the meantime. And here we go. What's going to happen here? We do have Corruptors here that could potentially deal with that Mothership Core, but are they going to be enough? I think that it's personally going to depend on how Lilbow engages. If he manages to stay away from these Lurkers, he should be fine. But if he gets anywhere near them, clumped up, those Lurkers are going to absolutely tear him a new one. And I don't mean that as the Impaler spike that they shoot out. I mean that he is going to rip that army apart. It's going to be absolutely no hope for it whatsoever. And there's 5, 6, 7 Broodlords here. That is nasty. Beautiful play here for Nerchio. Let's see how he's going to move out here, just using these to avoid losing as many of his units as possible. Broodling's doing so much work as well. And looks like we've got a counterattack somewhere. Zealot's being dropped here. But that is not important. Look at the engagement. All of these Lurkers moving straight in, getting a little bit close. But looks like Lilbow not moving his army back. Is he going to have enough here? He is actually favoring an army supply. 95 to 66 in favor of Lilbow. But is he cleaning this up? I do believe he is. He has got Lurkers, but there's no Stalkers remaining. So these Broodlords going to be able to clean this army up. And turning it around. Nerchio doing so well in that. Now, just to note, these Zealots have been ripping all of these drones apart. 21 have been destroyed so far. But is it going to be enough to force the GG out of Nerchio? The question is going to be here, does Nerchio think that he can continue in this? Personally, I think yes, he can. He's got the big army. He's managed to hold off this huge Protoss engage with a bunch of Immortals. And Lilbow, realistically, looking at the income, neither players actually has any income right now. So essentially, it's army versus army. And oh, okay, here we go. We've got Lurkers in his base. And I think if he holds on to that, he should be able to hold off pretty much any sort of aggression that goes down here. And these Zealots are about to meet their maker. They are dying for ire. 2 of them have been taken out at this point. And the other one just cower off to the distance. Looks like the probe is in position here. There's no mining going down here. But as you can see here, this base did finally get saturated fully. And what is he going to do here? Honestly, against this amount of Broodlord, or I cannot speak right now. This amount of Lurker is going to be very, very difficult to actually break through that. Now picking off a few free units, that is obviously very, very good for him. Oh, getting away from those Broodlords, and he needs to stay away from them. If he gets too close to them, he will meet his end right here at the hands of these Broodlords. I think this is pretty much it. He's got 8 army supply. He's got no income. All he's got is a few of these probes, which are about to get destroyed here as well. I think this is the final nail in the coffin. Is he going to end it here? Yes, he is. GG is called by Lilbow and Nerchio, tying up the series to 1 each. And that is pretty much that. Good game. And that is it for game number 2. Bly tying the series up to 1 each. Hope you've enjoyed us. Of course, thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video. I will see you guys in game number 3, where we're going to see how this best of 5 series turns out. Good luck, have fun, and I'll see you guys next time.